And
Yes.
it's a dedication that goes on day to day to day,
Of
year to
course.
year.
Anytime you do what really excites you, there is no other choice. So of course dedication is the result. It's not an effort. You don't have to keep trying to do it.
No.
When you're doing what excites you, there simply is no other choice. Dedication and persistence are automatic.
Right.
There's nothing else you would rather do.
That's right.
So there you go. Effortless dedication. Effortless persistence.
Okay. And it's the same with the extraterrestrial encounters that people have.
Phenomenon, yes.
Yeah, I'm leaving out the word intentionally.
I understand. I am again, as you say, messing with you.
I know, and that's okay. I'm messable with.
Yes, we know.
Thank you. So, with both of these,
Yes.
I won't say phenomenon, with both of these
Oh, you can say whatever you wish.
aspects of reality.
Yes. There is
That-
some overlap between them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I
And
know
I'm-
so. I
and
just
I'm-
told you so.
Yeah.
There is some overlap between us.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
I feel like it's an important mission that I have
A
in
mission?
being in this particular lifetime.
Oh, all right. Well, the mission is to simply be yourself as fully as you can. If this is the expression of that mission, so be it. But the mission is the same as everyone's mission, to be yourself as fully as you can. That's your purpose, that's your mission. The expressions vary, but your purpose is the same. Your mission is the same as everyone's.
Okay. Now, I'm wondering,
Yes.
I don't know how to phrase this, but what is behind this for me? In other words, I have a sense that there are...
Why don't you turn around
Oh, okay.
and take a look behind you and see what's there?
Okay, I guess I'd rather ask you.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
When you ask, what is behind this, how do you mean that?
Well, I mean it that
Have I not already answered that?
I think not quite, at least as far as my understanding.
All right, let's explore and see.
Okay, I have a sense that there is what I call other intelligence
Oh, thank you.
in the universe.
At least now we have
including you.
graduated from
Including-
phenomenon
Yeah.
to intelligence.
Right, that's good. Good, I like
All
that.
right.
Yeah, I prefer that actually. I sense that there are other excellent
Yes.
beings that are in some way encouraging me
Yes.
to do this and continue, even though it's my bliss and I'm following it and I love
yes.
it
Yes.
and I'm excited by it.
What you are experiencing, whether it comes through individuated beings or not, because it does, and also is simply the frequency of existence itself, because the frequency of existence itself is the ultimate magnet. It lures you into more of yourself. You understand? It's that wavelength, it's that frequency of energy that is magnetically attracting you. It's an eddy, it's a current, it's a stream that lures you into more of yourself. And it can be expressed through many different individuated aspects of all that is, such as ourselves and many other kinds of beings. But it's basically simply an alteration or a filtering of that particular energy that is the core energy of existence, that when you align with it in unconditional love, feels like a giant attractor, feels like the urge to explore, the urge to know, the urge to discover, the urge to become, the urge to grow, the urge to expand, the urge to fulfill. All of that is the expression of the same energy. It's the eddy, the flow of energy that all leads back to the source.
Whoa. Boy, that's wonderful.
Yes, it is.
A great expression.
It is full of
Thank you.
wonder.
Whew, it is. And when I'm in certain crop circles in England,
Yes.
which I know that Darryl has been in as well,
Yes, a few.
in many of them, I feel a huge sense of presence.
Yes.
Presence that I don't see.
Yes.
But there's, again, I want to use that word presence or intelligence.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's there. I feel like that intelligence is aware of me and I am aware of it.
In some ways, yes. Sometimes specifically, sometimes generally.
Okay.
Sometimes not at all if it doesn't need to be. It's whatever is relevant for the respective intelligences, including your own, that occupy that particular space and time at that moment. Because those things are representative of vortices, doorways, gateways to higher dimensions, higher planes, many different realities, and you will experience whatever portions of those things are relevant for your life, just as other intelligences will experience whatever portions are relevant for theirs. Sometimes there will be, as we say, overlap. There will be common agendas,
Yes.
common agreements.
And it feels like contact.
Yes, it is in many ways. And if nothing else, it is absolutely, and I'm going to use this phrase because there is many meanings to this, and you can suss these out in your own good time. It is the template for contact.
Ah, yes. Yes.
The crop
Thank you. It
circles
feels like that.
are, among many other things, a template for contact. And when I say contact, I mean contact with many different kinds of things, including levels of your own consciousness, as well as individuated specific phenomenon.
Thank you.
Yes?
And beingness.
Yes.
Beings.
Yes.
Ah, great. Now, another question, a little bit maybe akin to that. When we physically die
Yes.
and leave this particular plane, go into
When
another
you expand
plane,
beyond physical focus, yes.
yeah, into another plane, dimension,
Yes.
realm, whatever we want to say.
Yes.
Do we have the opportunity to meet with the souls of what we call extraterrestrial beings?
Yes. And you actually have the opportunity to meet with literally, directly sometimes, extraterrestrial beings, depending upon their state of being. You see, many of the things that we are becoming in our civilization are very similar to the idea of the state of spirit. We are now quasi-physical, not so solid anymore. We actually can, in a sense, inhabit both states almost simultaneously. So you can actually encounter what we really are, even from the spirit level. Yes?
Yes. And so these others,
Yes.
in other words, when they die from their
Yes.
physical bodies or
Yes.
quasi-physical or whatever they
Yes.
are, according to their dimension,
Yes.
we can go to the same
Yes.
frequency and know each other?
If you are of the same frequency, yes. You don't have to go to the same frequency, but you can if you are of the same frequency, yes.
So we may go to one frequency after we die, and from there
You may go to other
we
frequencies.
may go,
yes.
if we're evolving to those other frequencies ourselves.
If it has relevance for what it is you wish to explore, yes. You can go anywhere you wish.
Yeah.
You can even go into a parallel reality and continue the same life without knowing you've died.
Well, that would be interesting.
Many of you actually do it. Many
Maybe
of you
we're
have
doing it
had
now.
what you call narrow escapes. In many of them, not all of them, in many of them, you actually died. But you were given the choice to simply, quote unquote, go back and not necessarily know that you'd actually had that experience and just pick up where you left off.
And it seems like the same reality then.
It seems like it, yes. It's so close you can't really tell the difference. Sometimes you even have a little bit of an inkling, like, how did I get out of that?
I do.
And then sometimes you don't know that anything happened at all. It just depends on what serves your purpose individually.
Well, that reminds me to ask you that one time, many years ago, in Machu Picchu, Peru,
Yes.
I was sitting meditating by myself in a place that had been deemed dangerous, and I forgot
Yes.
that was a dangerous place.
All right.
By myself, sitting on a low rock meditating, and there was something told me inside, open your eyes and look to the right.
Yes.
And I did, and there was a black poisonous snake
Yes.
a few feet away with a yellow spot. And I remembered that that was the kind of snake that had instantly killed many of Hiram Bingham's workers
All right.
in the early 1900s.
And so?
And so I thought, oh my gosh, that's one of those snakes. Well, that's okay. I'm in such a quiet, peaceful, meditative space. It's okay. I'll just sit here and continue to meditate,
All right.
which I did for a little bit.
All right.
then
Sometimes,
something inside-
sometimes, you know, it sometimes is the better part of wisdom to move away from the snake.
Yeah. Well, that's what I eventually came to.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, there were about 4.
In other words, sometimes moving away from something like that is actually the most spiritual act. You don't have to force yourself to be spiritual while all the time you're sweating that the snake is sitting next to you,
Yeah.
hoping it doesn't bite you.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the most spiritual state of being.
Well,
Sometimes the simple wisdom of getting up and moving to another spot is the most spiritual wisdom of an act. Yes?
yes.
As your Buddhists say, chop wood, carry water. You understand?
Yes, I
Sometimes
do.
physical reality and just doing simple physical things is the most spiritually aligned thing you can do.
Well, the best is yet to come,
Yes.
in my opinion. So after about 3 times of opening my eyes and looking at him and seeing him come closer,
Yes.
and I wasn't really feeling all that calm,
All right.
even though I was telling myself, that's okay, you're just being mellow.
Nice, snaky, snaky.
Yeah, it's okay. You can just crawl right over me, and because I'm so calm, there'll be no reason for you to bite me.
And
However,
would you like to get to the points
Yeah.
of the story?
yeah, well, I love telling this story. But anyway, so at one point,
Yes.
with my eyes closed, my legs all wrapped up in yoga style, one foot tucked in under the other leg, etc. I suddenly thought to myself very powerfully, I really need help. I didn't say it out loud, but I
Yes.
felt it through my whole, I really need help. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to
And?
untangle myself. And the next thing I knew,
Yes.
I was about 200 yards away,
Yes.
on my feet, running
All right.
on the grass,
Yes.
away from that place,
Yes.
without having unentangled my legs or
Yes.
pushed myself up
Yes.
or anything.
You didn't die in the classical sense, if
I
that's what
didn't.
you're asking
No.
us. You shifted into a parallel reality where you're already 200 feet away. You understand? You shifted into a parallel reality where you did decide to move away.
Oh,
And you connected into it when you were already that far away.
wow.
That's, in a sense, you skipped over several frames.
Yeah,
You understand?
that's for sure. I really,
That's the kind of dislocation in time and space we were talking about at the beginning of this transmission. How space and time become slippery because you start shifting to parallel realities that are different enough that you notice the difference. You make a break in continuity
right.
and you reconnect where you need to. That still makes some degree of sense, but can leave you scratching your head. How did I get here? That's how you got there. You shifted your consciousness to a parallel reality that did choose to get up and walk away, but you connected to it when it was already 200 feet away from the snake.
Now, at the time, I had never even heard of parallel
It
realities. I
doesn't
didn't-
matter. You know about them even if you don't.
Okay.
So you knew how to take advantage of it. And the snake, being the ancient symbol for wisdom, gave you the push you needed
Yeah.
to make that leap.
Whoa.
Yes?
That's
How
exciting.
slippery of you.
Yeah. How nice of my higher self.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bashar.
Greetings, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Allow me to thank you for your responsibility
I will allow you to do so.
with us
You are welcome.
and your service to us.
It is my pleasure and my joy.
Your use of the English language is admirable.
We are simply sending thoughts. I am not speaking the language at all. It is simply being translated through the channel like a biological translation device. It, in that sense, uses your language as it is required to use it to get the points across, but I'm not speaking your language.
I work as a language interpreter.
Oh, all right.
And so my question is about languages.
Yes.
Can you tell me about the vibrational frequencies of some major languages? Let's say English.
We don't know if you will have a
Chinese.
frame of reference for the vibrational frequency we would give you.
I have heard that each well, at least major language has a frequency to it. It could
Of course
be
it does.
horizontal, vertical,
Yes.
a circular,
Yes,
zigzag.
but there are many ways to interpret this idea. We have a completely different frame of reference for the concept, especially since in our civilization we no longer really use our ancient language because we're telepathic.
And so are we.
You are, but you don't know it intentionally or consciously most of the time, most of you. But we simply exist in that state all the time and no longer really use our language except for very specific functions.
Well, I come from Russia,
Oh, all right.
and we are storytellers.
Yes, you are all storytellers, but you have a different way of telling stories in that part of your world.
Yes, we have volumes of stories.
Yes.
So we don't have a bottom line, so to say, and we don't really make a point.
And that's your point.
But my question was, how does that frequency of each language, of each culture
Yes.
that we come from, reflect upon us as individuals?
It is a reflection of the collective consciousness in that group. And it is part of the overall vibration of the collective consciousness of the entire world. But each group is, in a sense, a subset reflection, a subset frequency that expresses itself in a certain way, that translates itself in a certain context and brings to the picture, the whole big picture, a unique perspective to allow everyone to see the whole picture by appreciating and validating all the different unique perspectives that are each represented by a different vibrational frequency of the story structure. It's the old story of the cooking pot and all the people sitting around it. The cooking pot has pictures all the way around it. But in sitting in a circle around it, you only see so many of the pictures and cannot see the pictures on the other side. So you must rely on the people on the other side to tell you what they see, the story they see, and the story they see, and the story they see, and the story you see, in order to understand the story of the entire pot. It was another way for all of you to express the different points of view and to have an appreciation of how to expand by validating all the differences to allow you to become unified. Remember, unification and harmony is not the product of being homogeneous. Unification and harmony is the product of validating all the differences. Because each person and each culture is a puzzle piece of a particular shape in a whole picture puzzle. And if you don't allow yourself to include that particular shape where it fits in the puzzle, you don't have the whole picture. So every point of view, every story, every perspective is valid, or you don't have the whole picture if you invalidate anything. Yes?
Yes. Bashar,
Yes.
you have mentioned tonight that May 13th is a Lemurian holiday.
Yes.
My guru, His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, was born on May 13th.
All right. Good for him.
Yes. Is there a significance?
Of course there is. Why don't you ask him?
I will.
All right. The significance would be for his own person. Of course there is significance to everything because you give it significance. As we say, everything is a permission slip. So of course you put the significance into it that's representative of the vibration of your themes of exploration, of what you represent. Yes?
Yes.
So it's a personal thing on a case-by-case basis. There's no one significance that's true for everyone. If you want to know the specific significance of something for a particular person, ask them, see if they know.
True.
Thank you.
My first love, my first romantic love,
Yes.
his name was Joe Louis. He crossed over,
Yes.
and
And?
I felt his presence very strongly.
And this will be another symptom of expanding consciousness, is that the so-called barriers between life and death will become thinner and thinner and thinner until you can know that you can always communicate with these beings because they all still exist. It's just another state of being. It's like walking from one room to another. So more and more of you will feel the presences, and those presences will become stronger and stronger until one day, as a society, you will just carry on normal conversations with them, no matter what state they're in, even as our society can sometimes do, when it is relevant for us. So yes, you are feeling the presence. You know that there is still communication between you. You know that he still exists, in a sense, is still alive, but in a different state of being, yes?
Yes.
All right. Is there a boat involved in this? In a dream, a picture of sailing in a boat with this individual? Or crossing a river in a boat? That is the image we are receiving from this individual, as if it has significance for both of you.
No, there was no boat.
Are you sure? This
Well,
doesn't represent something to you,
perhaps-
being in a small wooden boat crossing a river?
Perhaps I don't recall this particular dream.
I'm not saying it's a dream.
No.
All right. Ponder it and see what happens, because that's the strongest message we are getting, the strongest image we are being given to give to you is the picture of a small wooden boat crossing a stream.
I will.
In ancient mythology, in ancient storytelling, it might be the idea of the boatman, Charon, crossing the river Styx to the other side. You understand?
Yes.
Does that have more significance? The ancient Greek stories?
Yes, it does.
Well, there you go. Now you understand the significance of the image.
Yes, thank you.
That is what is being given. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
And we will meet on the other side,
Yes,
right?
yes. Yes.
Interesting. It's amazing. Buddha said, and I don't recall the exact words,
Yes.
that words are supposed to lead one to silence.
Yes.
Could you explain that, please?
When you know what you need to know, there isn't always a need to say it. You just be it, you just do it, you just are it. Your actions speak volumes, and you don't have to say anything to augment that. Yes?
Yes.
The Bodhisattva also said, if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. Do you understand the meaning of this?
No.
It means be your own guide. Don't follow what others always say. You know just as much as anyone. You understand?
Yes.
So the wisdom of the Buddha is that you don't need the Buddha. That's why we say we are in this job to put ourselves out of a job. We are here to remind you that you don't need us, and that all you're actually doing when you speak with us is speaking with your own higher mind, using us as a convenient permission slip mask. Yes?
Yes.
And you all have the ability to do this. So do it, when and where you wish. Nothing stops you but you. Does that help you?
Bashar, you're amazing.
As are you.
Oh, thank you. What is this about the reversing the aging that...
When you live more in the moment, you don't create as much time, therefore you seem to age less. Yes?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew that.
I know you did. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, thank you.
You don't need me to tell you these things. You already know these things. We are
love
just
you.
reflecting what you already know.
I love you, and I have
Our unconditional
and I
love
cannot
to you
help
as
you.
well.
And I cannot help myself because I understand that love is our nature, right?
But if you love, then you are helping yourself and everyone else simultaneously. Thank you.
Greetings.
There will be a few moments remaining for this transmission, yes? Yes, we sense that. The wind has collapsed from the sails. The patterns are receding and collapsing upon themselves into the bridge that collapses into itself, into the here and now. Thus then, though the connection between us always remains, because all things are here and now, we will at this time bid you all pleasant dreams, for dreams you are. And thus then, as you dream yourselves into being and are the dream and the dreamer, we will dream together. Our unconditional love to you all. Good day.